What's going on, everybody? Hey, here we are, take number 2. My name's Dave McRae. Welcome to Saturday Movie Night. Yes, this is actually take number 2 if you're watching after the fact, but it's not just any Saturday Movie Night. I've got to go through the spiel again like we haven't done this before. Okay, here we go. If you're joining us after the fact and you don't know what Saturday Movie Night is, Saturday Movie Night is a level number 2 and 3 Patreon exclusive to my a Patreon exclusive to my level number 2 and 3 on my Patreon. And Saturday Movie Night, we watch a movie once a month, and I put up a poll, and my level 3 patrons vote on what movie we're all going to watch, and then my level number 2 patrons can also join in on the live stream right now. But this is not just any Saturday Movie Night. This is a different Saturday Movie Night because I thought it would be fun to set up a Zoom link and have some patrons, if they choose, to join us on the show and watch the movie with us. Just hang out, but just a bunch of people watching a movie. And now, if you want to join, if you are watching this live right now and you're in the chat room and you're like, holy crap, I want to join in on that. I want to get on some McRae. I want some McRae action. Well, then what you do is you go to my Patreon and you look for the Zoom link, which was the first post that I posted earlier today, and the Zoom link is there. So just scroll down to the first Saturday Movie Night post, not the one I just posted, the other one. Anyway, and you'll be able to join us here. Now, remember, your face doesn't have to be shown. You can just have audio. You can put up an avatar. Just don't have it explicit. And you can, we can just hang out. You can just talk, or you don't have to talk. You just sit there like some weird person in the corner or something like that. I don't know. It's up to you. But just know that this does go up onto my channel. It's exclusive to patrons right now, so there's not like a whole bunch of people watching right now. But once this goes live onto my channel, of course, more people will watch it after the fact. So you have to be comfortable with your face being out there and your voice being out there. If you're not comfortable with that, that's okay. You can join us in the chat room right now. Anyway, so we have 4 people here joining me on this inaugural face-to-face Saturday Movie Night, something like that. Mikey Films, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Dave. How you doing?
I am doing very, very well. It's nice to see you here. And thank you all, by the way, for your continued support to the channel each and every month. We have Reese Wilson all the way from down under. And I know it's probably getting sick of hearing that, but here he is.
Yeah, mate. How you going?
How you doing, Reese?
I'm doing great. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this. I haven't seen this in many years. So, yeah, it should be good.
It should be. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're watching. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that don't know what the fuck you watching, we're watching the 1990 classic Misery, starring Kathy Bates and James Caan as Paul Sheldon. Ooh, Paul. I love this movie. I adore this movie. I think Kathy Bates is amazing. Well, she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, I believe, in this movie. So, I mean, she's absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, we also have Cody Snyder. Is it Snyder or Schneider, Cody?
It's Snyder.
Snyder, like Zack Snyder?
Yes.
Is there any relation to Zack at all, or no?
I wished.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome, Cody. It's great to have you here as well. And I don't think there's anybody else so far waiting in the Zoom chat room, but let me just have a double check. You'll see me here on the screen move it over because I have to be able to see. Oh, wait, we do have somebody waiting. Who is this? Jim Dorsey. Jim, my man, Dorsey is waiting. Jim Dorsey is coming into the chat room. Here he comes. As more and more people file in, the smaller and smaller you're all going to get, which is hilarious. But nonetheless, this is good stuff. Hey, you know what? That's kind of weird. Why am I big? I was supposed to have a, oh, there we go. That's better. I was supposed to be up here like this. There we go. I was supposed to be up like that. That's how I was supposed to be. I wanted her big mug over there. Jim, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Dave, what's going on?
Not a lot. We're just ready to watch Misery here. And yes, now is that your son?
This is my girlfriend and her son. And this is the one that was dancing in your Jason video.
Yes. Yes.
Do you remember that?
I do.
Remember that? That's him.
That is him. Well, he is one heck of a dancer.
Say hi, Dave McRae.
Hi, Dave McRae.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, we're all sitting here though. Wait. Oh wait. So. All right. So do I need to mute my audio?
You don't have to. I mean, the whole idea of this is that we're all going to watch this together on the. Yeah, I'm trying to get everybody in here. I realized that the more people that file in, how do I? You know what? There's got to be a way to actually make it so that it's big, and then when one of you guys talks, it just shows your screen as opposed to having you all up at the same time. Because the more people that file in, the smaller and smaller your faces are going to get.
It's all trial and error. Yeah, I do Zoom meetings every day at work. So
okay, so do you know how to do that, Jim? Off the top here, let me just see here. Hang on, I'm just gonna.
Well, I'm on my phone right now.
Oh, okay, all right. Hang on.
So, but I can't see you though. It's just like a logo.
Oh yes, yeah. No, if you were watching the show live right now, you'd be able to see me. You'd be able to see me. I just want to see. Oh wait, view. Oh wait a minute. Full screen. No, I don't want full screen. How do I do that?
Go full screen. Okay.
Wait, maybe this is how you do it. Maybe
yeah, we're just. I just wanted to come in and say, hey.
Okay, wait a second.
I didn't think it was going to work. I was like, am I actually going to be live with you guys?
Yeah, you are live. Okay, Reese, can you say something?
G'day, how you going?
Perfect. Okay, that's perfect. Now I've figured it out. So now I have it, when each of you talks, you'll come up onto the screen larger. I think that works better because then the audience can see your faces larger. That'll be a lot better. Again, folks, this is the inaugural episode of this kind of thing, so we appreciate your patience as we get rolling here. But this is going to be fun. This is good. I'm enjoying this. This is going to be great. And then every now and then I'll have to. Darren says,
"Started watching it?"
No, we haven't yet. We're about to start watching Misery, 1990. I'm excited to watch this movie. I have it paused, by the way, for those of you that are joining. I have it paused at the. I'm watching it off of YouTube. I have it paused at the 4-second mark. The Metro Goldwyn Mayer lion is tilting his head to our right, his left, with his mouth open. That is exactly where I've paused it. So if you guys want to take a moment and line up your copy of the movie there, then we will do that. And then every now and then I will swing it over like this to see if anybody else is waiting in the chat, and then swing it back like that. That's probably the easiest way to do this right now. And all right, so is everybody ready? I think we should do it. Here we go. In 5, 4. Oh, and make sure you have the volume on your movie down a bit as well, so it's not blaring, or you use headphones or something to that degree. This is, again, a work in progress. These rules and regulations I'll get the hang of eventually, but try not to have it up too loud or it'll be distracting and whatnot. Okay, here we go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click away. Okay. I'm excited to watch this, folks. This is interesting. Frank Riker is in the chat room. Dia Maria is here. Darren Sand says this is a technological milestone. Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. Has anybody else done this? I mean, I'm pretty sure others have had Zoom chats with their patrons, but have they done it live and, out and about? I don't know. I mean, out into the world. I don't know. A Rob Reiner film. I appreciate red text on a black screen in a horror movie. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, I've always liked it. I used to do it in my videos too.
I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of that.
It's been a while since I've seen this movie.
What's that, Reese? Sorry?
Oh, I didn't realize Castle Rock Entertainment did films. I just associate that with the Seinfeld.
I get you. Yeah. Typewriters. Oh, it's hard to believe. My father, for those of you that don't know, was a journalist, and he comes from the era, of course, of writing with a typewriter. And it's hard to believe. I mean, now, we're so used to, deleting, copy and pasting and things like that. I mean, God, I can only imagine how frustrating that must have been if you got to the end of something and had to crumple the whole paper up.
Oh, I know the feeling. I have a typewriter in my living room.
Oh, geez, Mike, you better get with the 21st century here. What the hell?
Yeah, mine's a 1970 something Electric Smith Corona.
Wow, very cool. Very cool. Paul Sheldon sucking back a cigarette. This is so good. Rob Reiner directed this movie, by the way. For those of you that don't know, good old Rob Reiner. His father, of course, is now, I think his dad died not too long ago, a couple years ago. Carl Reiner, of course, is his father. Now he's got a snowball and he's throwing it at. It'd be funny if you threw it to somebody's head. That'd be funny.
It's been like 4 or 5 years since I saw this movie.
It's been a while too for me. Maybe about that long as well. My girlfriend loves this movie as well. So good. James Caan.
Yeah, I liked it because of Kathy Bates.
Yeah. Sorry, Reese, was that you?
I don't think I've seen this in about 20 years.
20? Really? It's been 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow. What about you, Cody? When was the last time you saw this?
I think when I was like 10.
Wow. Okay. So we're talking like 70 years ago. It's a long time.
What's the timestamp?
It's been about 20 years.
The timestamp, Jim, for me is 3 minutes exactly. I'm watching it off of YouTube. Paul is driving down the snowy
3 minutes
roads.
exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. It says co-producers Jeffrey Stott, I should say. Yeah. The storm is getting worse. The storm is getting worse.
It's looking like my hometown about 2 weeks ago.
Same. This is what Toronto looked like a couple of weeks ago. Well, not like that. That's a lot of trees, but in terms of the coverage of snow. I'm surprised he survived the crash. I mean, Jesus. I wonder if they're ever going to remake Misery. You could.
It's a Stephen King movie, so it's likely.
Yep, you're right. And you could. I mean, it's 31 years old now. You could remake it. And with the right, I mean, I don't know if they do. I mean, how do you top Bates? Or maybe you get Kathy Bates back. I know she's dead, but I mean, not her, but her character. But I mean, you can always get her back. Hey, if you're watching in the chat room here on the actual stream, not the Zoom chat room, but if you do want to log on and join us here on the show, and you are waiting in the chat room, let me know that you are waiting in the Zoom chat room, and I will bring you in. Don't just sit there like a bumping along, hoping I see you. Just let me know. Say, Dave, I'm here! And I'll let you in, because sometimes I may not notice for a bit. Now, this is the great Lauren Bacall, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Is that her? That is Lauren Bacall. Oh, she was great. She's one of the golden age of movies actresses. I think that's her anyway. Dia Maria says, "My God, Dave, I thought you meant Kathy herself. My heart almost dropped. Oh, no. Sorry. No, I meant her character. Her character is dead."
Yeah, that's how I get when people talk about Betty White.
Yes. Well, I mean, Betty White, she's not, what is she, 99 now, I think? Something like that?
Yeah, she just
Yeah,
turned
she's got
99
one more year
last
to go.
month.
One more year, one more year to go to the big 100. Amazing. And the
still
incredible
working too. So
well, yeah, she is. She's a little kind of. I mean, she's she's.
I think she was working on a Christmas movie until the pandemic hit.
Oh my God. Paul just looks drunk here. He just looks like he drank too much tomato juice and spilled on his head, and he's.
I know that look all too well.
That's. He's sitting there and. He's hoping a woman would save him, but unfortunately, it's not. He doesn't hope that it's this woman. You know, it's like, oh, it has to be this brute.
It's like I always get the crazies.
There you go. That's right. Like, oh, it's an angel. It's an angel. No, it's Kathy Bates. You know what movie I love her in as well? Kathy Bates, Dolores Claiborne. Whew. Now that's a good movie. Also based on a King book, if I'm not mistaken.
I think the first time I saw Kathy Bates in a film was Titanic.
I think mine was Fried Green Tomatoes.
Oh, yes. That's a good movie, Cody. Yep, that's a really good movie. Fried Green Tomatoes is really good. Now, look at the way she's carrying Paul. Like, do you think that's actually Kathy Bates? Can you imagine?
I wouldn't want to mess with her.
No. And I say that laugh, or I do that laugh half nervously because I have a feeling I'm going to find out somewhere on IMDb that no, that was her. She was bench pressing and doing squats before the film. It's so good. And this makeup job here on him looks great. Totally buy it. Oh, yeah. Good old Paul Sheldon. Dia Maria says, spilled wine. I've never seen that one. Oh, you've never seen Dolores Claiborne? You've got to see it. It's great. It's great. I think you'd really like it, Dia. I think you would. Frank says, I saw Kathy in My Best Friend's a Vampire. My Best Friend's a Vampire? I've never even heard of that movie. She was in it? Hey, Google, what year was My Best Friend's a Vampire?
The release date of My Best Friend is a Vampire was October 1st, 1987.
Wow, 1987. Frank doing some deep cuts, going hard into the paint on that. And this movie's got some like genuine suspense. There's some great stuff here. And it is a horror movie, right? I mean, it would be classified as a horror movie, but it's in the thriller. It's a thriller. It's not a slasher. It's not even a psychological horror movie. It's a thriller, and it's a very good one.
Yeah, it kind of unnerved me the first time I saw it, but the first time I saw it was like 12.
Yeah. I probably saw it probably around the time that it came out. I mean, it came out in 90, so I was 11. So I mean, I don't think I saw it in 90, but certainly in the 90s and probably early 90s. I saw it, and I've always loved it because it's just so. Well, there's a number of factors, right? Like, I mean, it's the isolation, it's the vulnerability of Paul Sheldon. I mean, he slowly gets better, but then there's that great scene to Moonlight Sonata, which is my favorite Beethoven piece of all time, and that section of it as well, when she breaks his ankles, and it's like you can feel it because you see it, the ankles get ripped.
I hate the hobbling thing.
And he was on the cusp. Sorry, Reese?
Oh, that scene you're talking about, yeah, that makes you cringe.
Oh, it's just brutal, man.
That was where I covered my face.
That's right. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Like, if that's my punishment, I'd rather be pushed off a cliff.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. It's just brutal. No, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Make sure we're still good. We are. Okay. Oh, look at those legs. Those are sexy legs. But what a great, like, I wonder if that's prosthetics, or like if those are fake legs, or if that's just makeup, like prosthetic makeup. They've built that onto his legs. Because you could do that. I mean, it looks legit. Like, to me, it looks, this guy's fucked up. He's not going anywhere for a while. Like, I as an audience member, I believe now that he's going to be there for a little bit. Because I don't think he could just get up and walk away. Like, that looks brutal. Looks really bad. Really,
if he wants to get out there, he's going to crawl. Yes,
exactly. I love the scene with this guy too when he goes into the place and he gets killed. It's so great. It's good. It's great suspense. Frank says they are fake. They are fake. They are fake, Dave. Yeah, and they probably are. It's good stuff though. It looks good. Lauren Bacall's agent. Or it's not Lauren Bacall's agent. Sorry, Paul Sheldon's agent, played by Lauren Bacall. Now, I didn't see anything, but I'll let you know if I do. That's kind of what he sounds like. Well, all right. Darren Sand says, good effort, waxy Tab. What's going on? Oh, I see. Tab of the Short says, eating... Okay, I'm like, I don't know what the hell that even means. Eating a bacon and pineapple pizza right now for dinner. Tabitha, I'm jealous because I love bacon and I love pineapple, and I think if you can combine the two with any sort of bread and cheese and call it a pizza, I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, I'm sure my girlfriend's jealous too. That's her favorite pizza.
Bacon and pineapple?
Oh yeah.
Reese, in Australia, do they would they put, like, is pineapple on pizza a thing there?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Most people love it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I like pineapple, but I don't
I'm not a big
like
fan either.
Pizza. Okay. So Cody and Reese, not a big fan of pineapple on pizza. So you joined my buddy Bruce in that category.
I'm pretty basic. I go with just a pepperoni.
Oh, interesting. Well, I guess I'm the most exotic one here. I do like pineapple on pizza, and we ordered on the set of It's Me, Billy. We ordered a big pineapple pizza and tried to shove it down Bruce's throat. No, we didn't try that, but it was kind of funny because when I came out to the kitchen to finally grab a slice, most of the pineapple pizza was gone. I was like, wait a minute here. Who's all? I think it was the girls. I think they were eating it all.
How old is James Caan in this movie?
It's a good question. Hey, Google, how old is James Caan? It's got to be in his 70s.
James Caan is 80 years old.
Ooh, he's 80. Okay, so he's 50, 51, something like that. Yeah, okay, I believe that. Because he goes back to like The Godfather and things like that. And before that, too. Yeah. Shaving this woman. And what's so great about Kathy Bates' performance is that she plays it. There's part of her that really does seem sincere. There's part of her that seems genuinely nice. And I think the shaving scene is a good example of that. She seems sweet. She's charming. You know, if you didn't know, like if you had walked into this room and were happy, you know, you happened to sit there for a few minutes, you wouldn't necessarily think there was something off with her. But sorry, go ahead, Cody.
I was just going to say, and then she finds out he doesn't like pineapple on his pizza.
That's right. Exactly. And that's the whole thing. It just goes into the shitter exactly like that. But you're absolutely right, Cody. You're absolutely right. It's a situation where, you know, like you can even hear the way she seems genuine, seems polite, nice. And she does that turn and that switch. It's so subtle. And maybe it's not so subtle, but it's not on a dime. It's a really, there's an arc, and there's a great, it's almost insidious. It's just brilliant. And obviously it was always in her. She is that type of person. It's when she feels when things are going her way, you have to pander to her, you got to kiss her ass and tell her what she wants to hear. And if you don't do that, then she loses it. She played it so well.
I always kind of consider her character like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. That's a great analogy. Yeah. 100%. But it's the fact that you actually do almost want to like her. See, now she's, well, I guess I didn't. Now it's kind of like she seems a little weird there. But up to that point, in that scene, she seemed kind of normal, and you want to like her, but you just can't. You just can't. She's evil. Frank Riker says, too bad they deleted the sponge bath scene. Are you being, was there a sponge bath scene, or is this just your way of trying to get some sense of a hot tub scene in a movie for you, Frank? Chris,
it's like, do I want to see Kathy Bates give some man a sponge bath?
I don't know. Do you want to see James Caan give Kathy Bates a sponge bath? That's the real question, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's, why not Reese says. Exactly. Why not? Why not? I'm all down for it. I'm all down for it. Kathy Bates in the nude. I mean, this is prime Kathy Bates here, folks.
I guess why not? I watched an old sheriff get his heart blown out.
Well, there you go. See? That's what I'm talking about. Chris Baber says, Kathy was my favorite character in Titanic. Yeah, she was. I kind of remember her in Titanic. I do. Yeah. Yes. Frank says James Caan in El Dorado with John Wayne. Oh, yeah. Caan goes back. He goes way back. You know what actor I adored, and he's been retired for many, many years, and he's, ancient now. I love Gene Hackman. I think Gene Hackman is brilliant.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I could have seen Gene Hackman playing Paul Sheldon. I could have seen it.
Yeah, that would work.
Yep. I think, especially at this time. Hey, Google, how old is Gene Hackman? He's got to be in his late 80s or something.
91 years old.
Whoa! 91 Gene Hackman. So Gene Hackman would have been 60 here. So, okay, so maybe a little too old to play Paul Sheldon, but maybe not. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. He's 10 years older than Caan, but the kind of actor that Hackman is, totally could see him playing this kind of role. Tab the Short says, so why can we only see Mikey on the Zoom? Isn't there other people? Oh, there is. It's just that in order to make it easier, I thought it was better to have everybody on screen. When they start speaking, they pop up. And then the last person who's talking, of course, will remain up until somebody else begins talking. The more people that file into the room, the smaller and smaller their heads are going to appear on the screen because you're going to have all these little boxes. So I just thought that this was the easiest way to do it right now. I'll figure something else out for the future. Good question, though, Tabitha. Good question.
Yeah, I think the last time I was on a live stream panel, they had the Google Meet thing.
Sorry, say again?
And the last time I was on a live show's panel, I was part of a Google Meets call.
Oh, okay. Very cool. And how did they do that? Did they have like all different individual boxes? They probably did. But then again, it depends how many people are in the chat room, right? Like if I know, and this is part of the idea, is that I may have to get a heads up beforehand who's planning on coming in. Because if it's just going to be the four of us, right, then I could isolate 4 boxes of all of you and put you up at the screen at the same time if I know ahead of time. But if 10 people are going to file in, at any one time, then that might be a little more problematic. So this is still a work in progress. We are still trying to iron this out and figure out the best way to do this. And because right now, I think there's still only 4 of us in here, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I recognize that actress.
Oh, yes. Yeah, she's been in a ton of stuff. She was in Cheers? Oh. Hang on a sec. Reese, you just broke up there. Say that again.
Oh, yeah, she played Cliff's mother in Cheers.
Ah, okay. Well, this could be his father.
No?
She was a psychiatrist in Raising Cain too.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the mustache.
Yeah, that's just it. That's just it. And Darren's like, maybe make Kathy's face smaller and our guests larger. You're absolutely right. That's a good idea. I forgot about that. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Our guests are going to be much larger. They're going to be larger than me. There, we're going to put you guys over Kathy. Again, a work in progress. We'll get this ironed out for the next one. Okay. All right. There we go.
I say it's still not bad for a first time test.
That's not bad. I mean, like I said, it's, these kinds of things, it's a new thing, right? And I think the best thing to do is that beforehand, like I said, figure out, hey, who's planning on coming into the chat? And if it's 4 people, then it's like, okay, great. Then I can set up 4 separate boxes. If it's 10 people, then it's like, okay, well, then I know I have to keep it as sort of like it is now. And right now, I don't know who's going to be coming in. There's 13 people watching in the chat, and I don't think there's any. Can you guys see the waiting room, or is that only me able to see the waiting room? Probably just me, right?
I
I think that's just me, yeah. I think that's just me.
And the one thing I found about this film is these 2 characters here they're like the comic relief.
Oh, the cop, you mean? The cop and his wife?
Yeah.
A little bit. Comic relief, I guess so. In this kind of a movie, I guess, maybe. Yeah. I'm just laughing at Darren. It's great. It's great. Darren says, Frank, that was like a horror film. What did Frank say? I remember Kathy's nude scene in About Schmidt with Jack Nicholson in the hot tub. She did have a nude scene with Jack Nicholson. Now, imagine that. Imagine Kathy Bates bathing Jack Nicholson in a hot tub. Let's not imagine that.
Yeah, I still gotta make dinner after this.
That's right.
What movie is that? I don't remember that. I'm not traumatized by that. What movie is that?
Jim, that's I believe that Frank just said that's the movie About Schmidt with Jack Nicholson in the hot tub. Kathy, now they weren't, I don't think they were scrubbing each other. I just added that for comedic effect. Tabitha says, well, I planned on joining Zoom, but my plans changed last minute. Oh, that's okay. No worries there, Tab. No worries there. You are a busy bee. I mean, my goodness, you got so many things going on right now. The J-Man's Movie Cave. That must be Jason Nike, I think. He must have changed his channel to the J-Man's Movie Cave. Says, Tabitha, you should come on my show sometime. Maybe Frank and Darren too. You never know. You never know if people's schedules work out. People have different schedules. It all depends on scheduling. Everybody's so busy lately. See, she's a little stranger here in this scene. I bet you she makes a mean breakfast, though. That looks really good. Or dinner.
She might be crazy, but she might be one mean cook.
Well, and she's Christian. She's got a cross around her neck. That's not very Christian of her to be doing what she does in the end. She's one of those lunatics. One of those, like...
I think they're called Christian extremists.
Extremists, yeah, she is. She's probably ready to have like some sort of cult in her basement or something. Oh, the snow's beginning to melt. This is a good shot because this shows us that things are melting and they're probably going to discover the car. Or did they discover the car already? I think they did. And I was too busy doing something else here. Ooh. Here comes the pig. Pigs are great. Pigs are cute. I'm telling you. This pig's not, overly cute or whatever, but some pigs are really, like potbelly pigs, they can be really cute and really smart too. They're very, very smart animals.
My mother had a potbelly pig for a little while.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. This isn't a potbelly pig. This is like a boar or something. Yes, Jim.
Dave, do you think this is the best Stephen King adaptation film?
That's a great question. It's one of the best. Absolutely. I mean, you know, when we think of Stephen King, naturally, we tend to think of horror. We sometimes forget, of course, that, you know, The Shawshank Redemption is also his. The Green Mile is also his. And The Shawshank Redemption is arguably one of the greatest movies in the history of motion pictures. So, I mean, geez, that's a hell of an adaptation. The Green Mile is a terrific adaptation. You know, this one is, of course, too. But certainly this is definitely one of, if not the best adaptation of a Stephen King novel in this genre, for sure. And this was such a great moment when she was acting like a kid there. And that's when it's like, there's something a little strange. Like she's walking around acting like a pig. And the look on his face afterwards was great. It was like, what is this? It's a little weird. She's a little weird. Frank says the pig looks delicious. Cujo is great too. Yeah, Cody says Cujo. Cujo's not bad. Cujo's pretty good. I think Misery is leaps and bounds better than Cujo. But Cujo certainly is pretty good, you know. Christine is all right. But there was a time there where there were quite a few adaptations of King stories that were just not very good. Usually with this movie, Misery too, it's like a thriller drama. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that if you were to walk into the video store back in the 90s, you would find this in the horror section probably, right? Or the mystery section or something. You know, it's not, like, I get that. It's not a drama per se, but it's like a thriller drama. It's very sort of, you know, it's slow paced. It's the performances are, you know, it's all about character and the performances and those little, that slow descend into madness. And it's not like a horror movie like Cujo or It, you know, it's not that kind of a horror movie. And usually these kinds of Stephen King films do better when they're really about the characters, you know, and the evidence is there. I mean, you look at The Shawshank Redemption or The Green Mile or Stand By Me, which was also another Rob Reiner film, you know, and then Misery, and then, you know, the strong characters. It's all about, you know, the characters and their development, and they tend to do really well. They tend to be pretty good. Dolores Claiborne, again, another one really about like even that. Dolores Claiborne, you could say, is like a thriller drama too, and it's really good. I highly recommend it if you guys haven't seen it. I think this is so good.
Yeah, this is something a normal person doesn't do.
No, especially when you're taking care of somebody who's sick. No, you don't just walk in there going, "Listen here, you son of a bitch." Look at this. See, that's like right there, you know, she's insane. And the lens choices they use, like the way they've set this up, the lighting on one side of the face, you know, some fill light on her left side, our right, the lens choice they chose. I mean, it's so imposing and powerful and invading and so just like, get the fuck out of here, lady.
Like the first time I saw this movie, I was 12. So the first time I thought she was just having a bad day, but like, no, now that I'm older, nope, she's just crazy.
She's having a bad day. That's right. The naivety of being a kid. Oh, this lady's just having a bad day. It's all right. It's all right. She's just taking care of him. I mean, everybody has a bad day every now and then, you know. She's so emotionally. Sorry, Reese, say again.
That's my girlfriend every time I forget, you know, to, do a chore or, forget an anniversary.
That's it. That's of course. Happens all the time. That's right. It's like when you're watching Halloween when you shouldn't be watching Halloween, and there you go.
Well, I guess he also could describe some people some women who want to talk to their manager and they don't get to. Oh
yes, so would Kathy Bates's character be a modern day Karen? I mean, is that? And I feel really bad for people who are named Karen. My accountant, his name is Karen. I don't know if she's watching, but I feel bad. You know, just thank goodness the male version of Karen isn't Dave or David, because then I mean, what are you going to do? You know, maybe she is. Maybe she is. I don't know. Oh, in the chat room, they're talking about that movie, Searching. Yeah, it's a good movie. I like that movie a lot, Searching. It's on Netflix right now. Frank Reiger says, I would have laughed if she yelled, wipe your own ass ball. Ah! Yeah, why not? And then the entire movie just becomes this weird kind of thing. Paul starts doing one-arm push-ups here. Look at these legs. They're just useless. Oh, you could feel that. You could feel it. Look at the pain on his face. Oh, look what they've done to his feet and everything. It's so great. Like, they're so swollen, and it's so, and the way they have the light on it too, so it's like right in your face, you know. It's so good. It's so good. This movie's so good.
Two of his toes looked like they were fused together.
Yeah, they kind of did. You're right. They kind of did. Maybe they were.
Yeah, it might be a result of just the prosthetic.
Yeah, maybe. It probably will. Oh, yeah, they definitely have something going on there. Wait, is this? No. That's later. That's later when he's in the wheelchair. I think this is when she comes in and she's like, "Oh, Paul, you've fallen out of bed," or something like that. Dia Maria says the feet are so swollen. I know, it's so intense. Can you imagine? Door's locked. Door's locked, buddy. See, now how is he going to get back in his bed? I would just yell and just pretend I had fallen out of bed or something. So she doesn't come in.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Here's the police chief. No, I didn't see anybody, man. Paul Sheldon.
I want this guy's sweater.
You want his sweater? Yeah, you know what? He's got a nice sweater. You're right, Cody. He's got a great sweater. That's the kind of sweater that you just wear like every day. Because it's like a jacket sweater.
Yep.
You could wear it every day to the point where you piss people off and they wonder whether you have anything else.
I do that sometimes.
Sorry, say that again, Reese.
I was just reading Frank's comment. Khan is method. They really broke his legs.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine, Frank, and the pain you see, like right now, the pain you're seeing him in is legitimately real. They busted his legs.
All right, Mr. Khan, time for your makeup and wardrobe.
Oh my God!
Holding a baseball bat.
When Kathy Bates hits James Caan's ankles, she really does it. Before she did it, he was sitting there going, "Just do it! Just do it! Hurry up and do it!" They cut that part out, though, obviously. But that was what he was psyching himself up, you see, to just do it.
I would want a raise.
Yeah. I think they gave him tacos or something. I don't know what they gave him, but yeah, he's that method. He's intense. I love how she's just like back to normal. I mean, you know, quote unquote.
As normal as she can be.
That's right. Darren Sand says Khan's legs were probably riddled with gout. He was a heavy drinker during this shoot. Was he really? I didn't know that. But that somehow doesn't surprise me. Paul, I want you to finish the last chapter or whatever it is. Oh, that's right. He's got... Can you imagine seeing this? Can you imagine seeing this? Like, this woman is insane.
Yeah, I'd be like, you're lucky I can't walk right now.
It's true. Do it, Paul. Do it. The fuck you talking about, bitch? That's basically what he said. He's got to write the whole. It's such a great story. It's such a simple story. It's so good. I would have loved to have directed this movie. I would have. This is totally. It's small. It wouldn't have cost a lot of money. I mean, you know, the actor's salary. Well, even then, though, I mean, Khan was pretty. You know, Kathy Bates wasn't huge at that point. I mean, she was known, but anyway, small movie, not a big budget. One or two, two, maybe three locations. It's very small, and you can get your second unit to go get the other shit. I would have loved to have directed this movie. This is just totally right up my alley. It's performances, it's nuance. It's so good.
Good snow theme.
I know. Come on, Paul, just do it. Exactly. I like your Michael Myers masks behind you there, Reese.
Oh yeah, the missus makes me keep all that stuff in here. She doesn't want it anywhere else in the house.
And the Jason mask is really good too. That's a cool looking Jason mask.
Yeah, those look great.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's got some good masks. I often get jealous. The only Myers mask I have is the economy version.
Well, that's okay. Everybody's got to start somewhere. It's all right. Just look at it as inspiration to get one of the other ones. Frank Riker says, Annie told Paul it's either burn your book or have sex with me. He burned his book. But he's thinking about it, though. Like, you see how he's holding on to that match? He's like, well, could I? Could I do it? Nobody's going to know. I mean, there's nobody else here. Maybe it'll be quick.
He's probably thinking it's burn or get burnt.
That's right. Yeah. See, it's a good point, though. Like, what? Because he's so helpless, he's so vulnerable, he's at the mercy. He needs her right now to survive. So what is he? I mean, yeah, it's the best thing to do. He did it to save his life.
Although I wouldn't want that big fire in my bedroom.
No. She's such a lunatic.
It's like I rented a house about a year ago, and the people who lived there before me, they actually used the charcoal grill in the house.
Oh, very cool. That's not good.
Yeah, the walls were covered in soot.
That's not good. Well, better that than cigarette smoke, I guess. But still, that's not good. Oh, look, there's a page left. Oh, no, it's gone. I love that, seeing the ashes fall in front of his face. It's so great. I love those details. Tab of the Short says, is there an Annie and a Paul in this movie? Yes.
The plot twist, this is the Paul that Annie was talking about.
That's right. That's right, Annie and Paul. Yeah. This is actually them years later. This is what ended up happening. This helicopter pilot looks like such a stereotypical, like, Magnum PI helicopter pilot or something. There goes your help, Paul. What are you going to do now?
You could almost switch these characters or these actors out with McMurphy and Ratchet. With Louise Fletcher and Nicholson.
Yeah, you could. There's definitely, I see what you're saying, Cody.
Very reminiscent.
Yep. There's definitely parallels there for sure. For sure. I wonder who you would get to play a modern day Paul Sheldon. Like, who now would we cast as Paul Sheldon and in the role that Kathy Bates is in? It's got to be, oh man.
They'd probably go with some young punk.
Yeah, they probably would. You know who I think, and I say this, and maybe I'm saying this because they're both, she's not like she's huge or anything, but they're heavier women. And I am a big fan of hers. I'm a huge fan of hers. And I think she can do drama really well. She's known for comedy, but I think she can do drama really well. And I think she might be able to pull this off, and that's Melissa McCarthy. I think she is underrated as an actress. She was nominated for an Academy Award for her role in that movie where she played that author. I forget the name of the movie now. I saw the movie. I thought it was terrific. She's hilarious and she's known for her comedy, but if she can bring the same acting chops she brought to that movie, which, like I said, she was nominated for an Academy Award for it, to something like that, I think you could do it. I think you could do it. That might be interesting. She's got a similar vibe as Kathy Bates does. Similar age now. And of course, there's others out there as well, but that's the first one that comes to mind. But admittedly, I do admit that a part of the reason, though, is that, of course, they're both sort of the same kind of weight. And I guess that kind of plays a role in thinking that. But she'd be interesting. I adore her. I don't get the hate. I mean, not every movie she does is funny. That's true. But I think she's funny. Dia Maria says, yes, Dave. Agreed. Ooh. Downey Jr. would be a good Paul Sheldon. Robert Downey Jr. as Paul Sheldon. Yeah, I could see that. I could see Downey Jr. as Paul Sheldon. The problem with Robert Downey Jr. is that he's not bankable outside of... He doesn't appear to be bankable. Not that you would need to make bank on a movie like this, although what would a Robert Downey Jr. demand now? I mean, Jesus, he's one of the highest paid actors out there because of the MCU and Iron Man, I would imagine. So what would he demand for a Misery? Unless they said, hey, Rob, you mind taking a pay cut? I could see it. I definitely could see it. But his movies outside of the MCU don't really draw that well. So I don't know. But you are right. You are right. I think he'd be all right. Or you just get a modern Sylvester Stallone right now. Sly Stallone. My legs! Darren Sand says Khan was never bankable. No, you're right. You're right. He wasn't. But it was a different era, right? It was 30 years ago, and like I said, I think now there's higher expectations, but if they can make the movie, if they can make a Misery remake for, I don't know, 5 million maybe, 10 million, you could do it. You could totally do it. You could shoot this movie today for $10 million. It just depends on who are your actors and what are their salaries.
Khan's a really great character actor, I think.
He is.
Someone like that, not necessarily, I think, a huge star.
I agree. No, I don't want to see like Chris Pratt in there or some young hunk guy in there. And it's like, no, I don't want to see that. I want to see, just like you said, Reese, a good character actor. Yeah. Of course, this was at a time when typing on a typewriter was also not unprecedented. It's 1990. I assume this movie also takes place in 1990, I think, or in and around that time, late 80s, early 90s, somewhere around there. It's a present day film, I would imagine. And although laptops did exist at that time, I remember my dad had one, very like the big bulky ones that you would open up and whatever. And he had one that he used for his columns. But people the transition was happening at that time, but it wasn't unprecedented to find people still kind of hanging on to the typewriter in and around that time. But today, nobody's typing on a typewriter, right? So like a modern day retelling of Misery, does it have the same effect? Like, what is she doing instead of burning the paper? Well, I guess you could still do that because it still could be printed off. But I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, does it have the same effect if it's a laptop, or does it have the same effect if it's a tablet? Not real. I don't know. Or is that irrelevant? Is that irrelevant to the story? It's a good question, though. Darren Sand says Stanley Tucci for Paul Sheldon. Yeah, I'll think on that one. Not bad, not bad. The J-Man's Cave says Patrick Wilson could do a Paul Sheldon. Ooh, Jason, that's actually not a bad suggestion. I actually could see Patrick Wilson, the guy from the Insidious and Conjuring films, most notably, the main guy in there. You know, he's got that look to him. He's got that sort of that guy. You know, I could see that. That's actually not a bad suggestion, Jason. And I love this performance here from Kathy Bates. Oh, yeah, right on his fucking legs like that. It's so great. She's so neurotic. She's like insane. She's absolutely insane.
Sadly, I can also see this happening between a couple that are fighting.
Oh, yeah. There she is. She's taking off, I think, right? Is that her taking off? Yeah. This is his opportunity. So he thinks to himself, all right, I'm going to look around now. I think he gets back just in time or something. Fascinating. Chris Baber says, and Julian Sands, been many years since I've seen it. I don't know what you guys are talking about. The Rock and Betty White? The Rock and Betty White. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
I can see Betty White being up for it.
Yes, but Betty White is the Paul Sheldon role. Oh my God. Can you imagine how abusive that movie would suddenly become? I mean, Jesus. That'd be awful. Like, you would have to know how many of us could pick a lock with a hair pit, or this hair, whatever this is here. How many? I couldn't pick a lock. If my life depended on it. He goes in there and he just knows how to do it.
I had a cousin that had one of those lock picking kits.
They make lock picking kits? I didn't know that. Fascinating. Darren Sand says, I saw this in the cinema, Frank. Odd movie. I was the only one in the cinema. You were talking about Misery? Or are you guys talking about... No, I think you guys are talking about something else, I think. Cody in the chat room says, speaking of boxing, Helena, Sherlyn Fenn has some of the prettiest eyes I've ever seen. Sherlyn, is that her? Oh, Sherry Lynn, I think is what you mean, right? Sherry Lynn? Sherilyn? Oh, okay. Sherilyn.
Yeah, one of the actresses from Twin Peaks.
Oh, okay. I might know her face, but I don't recognize the name. I might know her face though. You know, Misery might make a great video game where you are Paul Sheldon and you sustain a lot of abuse and you have to get out of this house. You have to figure out ways to get out of the house. And she's always like on your tail. You know, there's like a little map in the corner of the screen where you can see where she is.
I could see them doing this in the version of that Granny game.
There's a Granny game?
Yeah, it's a horror game.
Oh. Okay.
You have to get out of Granny's house, and she's always on the prowl, setting traps, trying to catch you.
Okay. A granny, an old lady is trying to catch you, and you got to get out of her house.
She's deranged.
Looks like somebody beat me to the punch. It's so funny. Look at the color of her car. It's like a pink Jeep. Dia says, so true. Asking her, does she smell what he's cooking? The Rock is saying that to Betty White in bed. If you smell... Stop it. Please stop. It's a very strange movie. Just the trailer for that movie would be interesting.
But I'd have to go out and see it, definitely.
Oh, yeah. I'd be first on my list. Oh, that'd be some funny stuff. Chris Baber says The Rock could cover her ankles in Gorilla Glue first. Oh, you guys crack me up. I love how when you look around her place, things are almost fake. You know what I mean? It's almost like you're on like a set, almost like things are not, like the phone. You know, when he picked up the phone, you know, and he looked, it's like, God, there isn't even anything here. I think he falls out of his chair into the closet here or something. I think. I can't remember. Maybe I'm wrong. I still can't get it out of my head, Frank, that James Gunn's so mad that they actually broke his legs. I'm just.
He showed up at the premiere.
That's right. That's right, Reese. He's at the premiere in a wheelchair. And so how did it feel, Mr. Khan? Well, you know, I was so excited to do this role. They wanted to bandage me up, and I said, listen, why don't you just break my fucking legs right now? Just do it right now. And they did. They broke my legs. And how did they do it, Mr. Khan? How did they do it, sir? Well, they came in with a sledgehammer and just broke my legs right there. They really did that. Yes, they did. But
he probably did it himself.
That's right. That's right, Cody. That's right. Well, you know what? And I did.
Method.
Yeah, that's right.
Goes to the premiere in character.
That's right. And how about your face, sir? How about your face? Oh, I punched myself in the face a few times, and yeah, he's just
in every movie since.
That's right. That's right. It's amazing. People didn't know that he didn't win any awards for this movie. I mean, I don't think he did anyway. Look at that right now. He's crawling on the ground. This is because he can't walk.
Like if I were an actor and I was that method, I would want every award.
It's true. Christian Bale, the machinist, eat your heart out here, okay? I mean, this is this is James Caan with his legs busted. That's what this is, folks. That's what this is.
That'd be a great behind the scenes.
It would. Can you imagine behind the scenes, Paul Sheldon busting he's in a room, you see him punching his face.
Mallet after mallet.
That's right.
Beating on his knees.
That's it. They're just beating him. Oh my God. He's punching himself in the face. You know, he's throwing him in, himself into walls. It's like in the movie, what was that movie? Was it Liar Liar when
the liar in the bathroom scene.
Kicking my ass.
That's right. That's what it looks like, but it's real. and it's like, the hell is James, what are you doing? Stop it. You don't need to do that. Hey, can we get somebody on set, please, James? He's throwing himself into walls and everything. It'd be hilarious. My God.
Just trying to save money on makeup and prosthetics.
That's it. Yeah, I just want to save a few bucks. I love this scene, though. It's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. The suspense and the anticipation for him to get back into the room.
Really selling it.
Oh yeah, 100%, Reese. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I think he put one of the figurines back the wrong direction, though.
He did. Yeah, he put one of the things back the wrong way, but it's that anticipation, that suspense, and cutting back and forth between him and her and him, and where she is in proximity to where he is, and it's great. It's great editing. It's great. The sweat, you can see the sweat, and it's like
his plan was almost perfect.
Yep. I love how it's like, Paul, you're sweating, something like that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Would it be too much to call the behind the scenes the Wrath of Khan?
The
Wrath of James Khan.
Yeah, you may be right. You, as Dr. Loomis would say, you may be right.
They're just filming the behind the scenes, and you see James Caan in the background just kicking his own ass.
Just kicking his own ass. That's it. He's just throwing himself. Look at him here. Anybody walking in him here. He looks like he hasn't been up to anything at all. No, not at all. Not at all. He looks completely normal. He just looks like he's been sitting there the entire time. It's like you walked in like he was masturbating or something. I don't know. Like you just, what the hell is going on here?
Sweating profusely.
Yeah, he's sweating profusely. But this is how you do it though, right? You feed into their ego. You tell them what they want to hear. You know, you absolutely play the part of, like how he's playing it. What did he get? Are those sleeping pills or something like that? Yeah, he's like he's gone for a run or something. Looks ridiculous. Darren Sand says, in the book, she cuts his foot off with an axe and then oh my God. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Oh my God.
I thought it was with a hacksaw, but yeah, I'm pretty sure she cuts his foot off.
I didn't know.
Is James Caan that committed?
See, that's the thing. Caan didn't want to go that far, and that's why he said, "Listen, we'll just break my ankles. We're not going to go that far." I didn't know that, Darren. Thanks for saying that. I didn't know that. That's intense. Yeah, they tried to convince Caan. They said, "Listen, James, you don't need your foot." Okay,
you got one left. You got one left.
That's right. You got one left.
Even Caan has his limits.
Apparently, even James.
I'll punch myself in the face. I'll bash it against the wall. I'll break it into a mirror. I'll break my own ankles, but I'm not cutting my foot off.
That's it. Yeah, he ain't cutting his foot off. But he was close. He was close. He woke up one morning. He said, "You know what? Okay, let's do it. Let's cut off my foot." And then Kathy Bates said, "Nah, I don't think we should." So it was, and then he's like, "Okay, yeah, you're probably right. What am I thinking?" And yeah, Caan has his limits. Frank Riker says the Misery game will be based on collecting red pills and fighting level bosses of penguins and pigs while throwing typewriters in jars of piss. Yes, Frank. That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, and you can play. You have to play as this guy's another great character.
Yeah, he was in Breakdown with Kurt Russell.
Yeah, that is what's his face?
He played the bad guy.
Yeah, that's right. It's J.T. Walsh, I believe his name is. Another great character actor who, sadly, he passed away in 1998, I believe. But I was just going to say that, in the game, you start off as Paul Sheldon, but you have to get to the end of the game and unlock certain things to be able to actually play as Kathy Bates. You can actually play as her as well. So you get to actually cut people's feet off and shit. I like how this small time sheriff is like, "I know what's going on here. I've seen shit." Frank says, in addition to leg break, Caan developed a red pill drug habit, but cut them cold turkey to get the withdrawal sweats. That's right. I heard, and the face he makes, like that face where he's like, I heard that he didn't have a bowel movement for 6 weeks. He tried, he kept it in. He made himself constipated so he'd get that look in the sweats as well. So he's method. I mean, he breaks his legs, he punches himself in the face. He doesn't take a shit for 6 weeks. He's totally there. Oh, that's right. He puts it in her drink and then she spills it or something, if I'm not mistaken, I think.
Yeah, like she's crazy, but she's smarter than what he thinks.
Oh, 100%. And I like that too. I like that she knows.
That's the thing with psychotics. They're actually pretty smart.
Yep. You know who could have played this role actually at this time? Who could have played this role? Now, he's not as Not that James Caan is, but actually Harrison Ford could have played this role at this time in 1990 because he was actually he's a little bit younger. In 90, he would have been like 48 or something. Or
Yeah, I think I'm a little biased.
No.
I would have gone with Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer.
He could
Maybe.
be good. He could be good.
Yeah. But I could see Harrison Ford in this role, especially at this time. If you haven't seen The Mosquito Coast with Harrison Ford, that's a great movie. He really flexes his acting chops in that movie. He's really good in that film. I love how he's pandering to her here. Paul, you son of a bitch. So great. Dia Maria says the constipation proclamation. It's totally true. Or Betty White in The Rock. I mean, whatever you want to do here, whatever you want to do. Yeah, she's clearly neurotic, but she's not stupid, though. You think she's done this before? I wonder if this character's ever done this before.
I mean, considering what he finds in that scrapbook, she's probably done things similar.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this is not her first go around. I mean, she's managed to stay off the radar of the law. Look at her face. Look, and the lens choice and the way they bring the camera in is just so great. And the way see how they have Paul, they're shooting downwards on Paul, right? Obviously he's sitting, but they don't need to be shooting down. They're shooting down on him or they're shooting up on her, right? So it's that authority. And now she comes down to his level here. So it's a she's like, hey, listen, now you're shooting up at Paul. So now Paul, you get a false sense, of security, like, oh, Paul's in control here. But then now she comes back up. It's so good. It's psychological. You don't think of it consciously, but it does affect the viewer. It's so well done. Darren Sand says Bette Midler was first choice for Annie and pulled out. Yes, I think I did hear something about that. And Bette Midler, yeah, maybe Bette Midler, yeah, at that time, yep, yeah, I could see her doing that. She's a good actress. I could see her doing it.
Yeah, she's the only reason why I like Hocus Pocus.
Oh, that's right. She is in Hocus Pocus.
He's listed Harrison Ford there. He said no. Darren's put that there.
So maybe maybe that's why I thought of it then, is because I actually did hear that then. Yeah, he said no. I wonder why he pulled it. Maybe he pulled out to do Presumed Innocent, because I think Presumed Innocent came out in 90.
That was the same year, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that was why. That was an all right movie too. Not as revered and as classic as this one, but it was okay for its time, I guess. Or maybe they just didn't want him. Maybe he didn't want to break his own legs. Maybe he just thought, no, I can't do it. I'm not going to break my own legs. I'm sorry. I just can't do it.
And it was at the audition. Now, to get this part, you have to break your own ankles.
That's right. Come on, Ford. Are you kidding? I'm one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. I don't. Darren Sand says, oh yes, I already read that. Dia Maria, Bette could have definitely done this role well. I think so too. Darren, because you seem to be, or anybody, I toss this out to anybody who is familiar with the book, was the description of Annie in the book Misery the same way? Because Bette Midler is also sort of, a bigger boned lady. So is Kathy Bates. Is she that way in the book as well? Is Annie described to be sort of a bigger lady in the book? I would imagine so if they thought of Bette Midler too. He's getting better. And we still haven't come to that scene yet. Oh, man.
As he begins to recover, she realizes he's going to want to leave, and that just drives her nuts.
Oh, that 100%. You're absolutely right, Mikey. You're absolutely right. Oh, here they are. Yeah, Darren Sand says Kevin Kline, Michael Douglas, Harrison Ford, Dustin Hoffman, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Richard Dreyfuss, Gene Hackman. So I was right about Gene Hackman. And Robert Redford all said no to the role of Paul Sheldon. Darren, was this in your brain or did you look this up? That's pretty impressive if you know this off the top of your head. So let's see here. Kevin Kline, Michael Douglas, Harrison Ford, Dustin Hoffman, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Richard Dreyfuss. You know, all those are pretty good. I think Robert Redford could totally see it. And how old?
I want to say Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, Richard Dreyfuss. He's a great actor, though. Richard Dreyfuss is a really good actor. But you're right. I could see. He's a smaller guy. I think he's only like 5'5" or 5'4". He's a smaller guy. But he's a good actor. Pacino and De Niro. Yeah, I'm with you, Reese. Like, I don't know. Like, great actors. They probably, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Dustin Hoffman. I don't know. Michael Douglas. Yeah, maybe I could see Michael Douglas. I think Robert Redford, Harrison Ford, and Michael Douglas. Maybe Kevin Kline. Yeah. And Gene Hackman. I think Gene Hackman would have been great. Gene Hackman would have been great. So I was right about Hackman and Ford. Oh, they're having their dinner here. This is their love dinner.
Yeah,
Look at the way
his failed poisoning, her fake clumsiness.
Yep. But look at the way that he's complimenting her and he's totally grooming her for trust. That's what he's doing. He's trying to build that trust. And it's so well done. And
it worked up for a while because she is kind of a narcissist.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure she is. For sure she is. Chris Baber says, it's funny you mentioned that, Darren, since her and Khan did For the Boys around the same time. Oh, Bette Midler and Khan did that? That's a deep cut. Darren says, check out some of the facts here. Ooh, Mental Floss. I've never heard of that. Mentalfloss.com. I've never heard of this site. I'll have to check that out. Let's check this out. Ooh, 17 surprising facts about misery. Here we go, folks. Annie Wilkes was a metaphor for drugs. Did you know that? The author had substance abuse issues during the time he wrote the novel. King told the Paris Review, Annie was my drug problem, and she was my #1 fan. God, she never wanted to leave. Fascinating. Number 2, King would only sell the movie rights to Rob Reiner. After Reiner's work on his Stand By Me, who could blame him? King would only agree to let Reiner's production company Castle Rock get involved with Misery if the former All in the Family actor either produced it or directed it. Fascinating stuff. And there's Bette Midler turned down the role for Annie Wilkes. James Caan was far from the first choice, so there they all are. Fascinating. William Hurt said no twice. Warren Beatty showed a lot of interest and gave Reiner and Goldman ideas for the character before having to turn them down too. Fascinating. Number 5, there was a big debate as to whether to keep the foot axing scene in the movie, and it cost them a director. Fascinating. In the book, Annie chops off one of Paul's feet with an axe. George Roy Hill, director of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Sting, and Slapshot, those are great movies, agreed to direct Misery and quickly changed his mind once he realized he couldn't handle the lopping scene. Is that the guy that... No, maybe not. Anyway, which Goldman insisted be left in. This led Reiner to just direct it himself. It also may have influenced him to change the script for Annie to just break Paul's ankles. Goldman later admitted Reiner was right. Fascinating. Well, you know what? I mean, I would have kept it in. Bates wasn't happy that the scene was changed. Ooh, Bates was initially disappointed that the axe scene was changed due to the sledgehammer. I can see that. Bates ended up getting upset over the violence. Caan recalled that his co-star was crying when it came time to shoot that infamous scene. Bates also cried before shooting the fight sequence at the end. Fascinating. Caan's fake legs were modeled out of gelatin, excuse me. Fascinating. This is fascinating. Reiner studied Alfred Hitchcock's movies to figure out how to shoot a thriller. Ooh, not surprising. You can really see, yeah, I totally can see that. Now that I know that, I can totally see that. It was shot in, Genoa, Nevada. Is that how you say that? Genoa? Nevada's oldest town stood in for Silver Creek, Colorado. The crew built a cafe, a radiator shop, a sheriff's station, and a general store. Cast and crew also utilized the Genoa Bar and Saloon. Caan had to stay in bed for 15 weeks of shooting. Future Men in Black director Barry Sonnenfeld, I guess. Is that how you say that? There's two different ways I think you could say it. Was the cinematographer. Interesting. Bates, Reiner agreed on an unwritten, unspoken Annie backstory. Used, that is, sometimes you do that to help the actor. Used to giving her characters rich backgrounds, help her find her voice. Bates and Reiner agreed that Annie was molested by her father as a child. Interesting. It helped explain for Bates why Annie had a history, as explained in the book and in the movie, of killing infants and old people in her nursing care. That makes perfect sense. Oh, right, of course. Yeah, that's right. Earlier, I was like, I wonder if she's done anything bad before. That's right. It's all coming back to me now. It's all coming back to me now. 4 more to go here, guys. 14, Caan and Bates clashed over the acting methods. Caan believed in as little rehearsal as possible. Bates, with her theater background, was used to practicing a lot. When Bates commented to Reiner that Caan wasn't attempting to relate When Bates commented to Reiner that Caan wasn't attempting to relate or listen to her, Reiner told her to use that frustration towards her character. 15, Bates took her frustration pretty far. Reiner picked up on Bates getting more and more isolated as the shooting progressed and told Bates to leave Annie Wilkes behind when the work day was done. 16, Caan once showed up to the set hungover. So Darren was right. All of the scenes he shot that day were unusable. Reiner told Caan he had to do the scenes again because there was a problem at the lab. When Caan learned it had nothing to do with the labs, of course, the film labs, he offered to cover the money he lost the studio. Well, that was nice. 17, Goldman adapted the screenplay for the stage. A theatrical version of Misery premiered in 2012 and just debuted on Broadway, starring Bruce Willis and Laurie Metcalf. Bruce Willis? Really, Bruce Willis? Fascinating stuff. I didn't know. Well, I knew a few of those things, but very cool, Darren. Thank you for sending that over. Now, where the fuck are we here in the movie? Oh, here we are. Ah, yes. Yes.
Trouble now, man.
It's true. Chris Baber says a younger Robert Duvall would have been fun to see as Paul. Yeah. The J-Man's Cave says, I gotta go, guys. It's been fun. Take care, J-Man. Take care. I didn't know this was shot in Nevada. But those scenes with Paul on the road, of course, that's probably second unit B stuff. That's not Nevada. I mean, as far as I know, Nevada, depending on how you want to say it, doesn't look like this could be Nevada. Out the window there with the rain and the cargo. Yeah, sure, no problem. But, or where in Nevada, I guess, because maybe there's maybe there's like, you have to excuse me, of course, I'm a Canadian living on the East Coast. When I think of Nevada, of course, I think of Las Vegas. I think of the desert. I don't think of, snow and shit. So obviously there's second unit B stuff too. But the actual like interiors and maybe, yeah, I could see like that. I could see that when she goes to town. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, there's gotta be something. I'm just reading this mystery book. I'm reading one of Paul Sheldon's books.
Reading and taking notes.
That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. Reading and taking notes. It's not how you're supposed to solve a crime, but I guess if it does the job, ladies and germs, if it does the job.
If it works, I guess we can't complain.
Well, that's it, right? That's
Even
it.
though it took him a while to realize something was amiss.
That's it. That's it. Now he's going through the scrapbook here. Where is Paul Sheldon? Yeah, and that's right. And he realizes that he's becoming a part of her history, her story. He will just be another face in that book, another victim, so to speak. Another victim. That really does look like a younger photo of her. You know what? I bet you those are younger photos of her. Because sometimes they do that. They will grab younger photos of those actors and they'll use them. And why not? I mean, it makes sense. Yes. James Caan. Baby Lucy dies after 5-week struggle in hospital. Parents distraught over her death. Second newborn death at Elridge County Hospital, I think it said. There's the pig. There's the pig deaths. Infant deaths. Pig deaths. Frank Riker says, imagine if Paul was typing in the beginning at the Overlook Hotel. Ooh.
That would have been a nice little crossover or Easter egg.
It would have been. It would have been. Would have been a strange.
This movie should reveal that the pig is really the puppet master behind all this.
Yes. Yes, you're absolutely right, Reese. I agree with that. I think it would be interesting to see if, like the pig is the puppet master. He's the one behind it all, and he's responsible for everything. He's the one that's responsible for everything. I love how he's practicing here.
It'd be I'd cut my forearm open with that.
Yeah, that's right. Look at that rain coming out. That's so great. Love the lighting, the rain. So good stuff. Oh, Paul. Oh, Paul. I give you all. No keys, but please, my Paul. Should be the theme of this movie. He's getting ready. Yeah, because he's on the verge of being okay now. Or did I miss the scene where she breaks his ankles because I was reading, or no?
I don't think we've gotten there quite yet.
Okay, good. Just going to say, because I was reading Misery trivia and I didn't want to miss that scene. Oh, I think is it here? No, it's not here. Is it here? No. It's coming up though. Because she recognizes that he's getting better. He's getting better. And she's got to do something. She has got to do something. She's got to keep him around. She can't have this shit. She's got to keep him around.
They going nowhere.
Sorry?
Oh, it's saying he ain't going nowhere.
No, he ain't going anywhere, Reese. He's that's it. He's just there. He's there. I'm going to put this under my mattress. And what's he going to see? The thing is, because he can't walk, he would have to, if you're going to stab her, he would have to stab her in the neck. So there's a gigantic amount of loss of blood because he still can't walk. So even if he were to stab her in the arm or stab her in the chest all she would have to do is, it would depend. It would have to be an amazing shot. An amazing shot.
Yeah, because I think with people that are crazy, they're more resilient to pain.
Well, yeah, and if he misses and hits her shoulder or whatever, that's great. I love that. She's just standing right there. Then it's kind of like, what the fuck?
You know, this scene here maybe jump out of my skin when I first saw it.
Oh, it's so good. Khan is really inebriated here. He's
She gave him that good. That's
it. Frank Riker says it's funny how her favorite program is The Love Connection. Yeah, it is.
Well, there's going to be a connection, right? Connection between a sledgehammer and his ankles.
Yep. To Moonlight Sonata. It's a great piece of music. Look at him. He's fucking waking up. He's like, hey, here it comes. Now, Paul, I just want you to know that I need to do that.
And that's rough. He woke up feeling pretty good, too.
He did. Look at him. Look at him smiling. He's got a smile on his face. He's ready to go. He feels good. You know, he's got his face wounds are gone, and this is the moment where, you know,
man, that sucks.
She just ruins his whole day.
I know. And it kind of looks like the Michael Myers knife from Halloween 2018. There's your Halloween connection. Here we go. Oh, here we go. This is the moment. Now, right before she does it, you know, he's just do it. Just do it, Kathy. Do it. Just slam them. Slam them now, Kathy. He's actually really sedated here.
That's why she was disappointed. She really wanted to cut his foot off.
She did. She was ready to go. She was actually going to grab the hacksaw, but accidentally grabbed the sledgehammer. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, this is going to be like.
Love the way the camera's closing in on both of them.
It's true. It's building that anticipation. Oh, God. And look at his legs look so much better. His feet look so much better. Nope. And I love the prosthetic when he hits them or she hits them and you see them for a split second like they break. Oh, here it comes. Moonlight Sonata, yes.
This is like the worst part. Like you know what's coming and you just don't want to see it.
Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Yes, yes, yes. It's for real. It's for real. Oh! 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 Yes, yes. Yes. Oh! Yeah, look at that pain. He's writhing in agony. Method actor James Jimmy Kahn. Look at his face. Oh my God. It's like he had an orgasm or something. I don't know what happened there. Jesus. Like this doesn't look like Nevada to me. I mean, look at the terrain, right? So this has got to be some B-roll, some second unit stuff here where they...
Yeah, this looks more like a small town in Colorado.
Yeah, exactly. She's insane. Tabitha Short says, what just happened? Oh, Annie Wilkes just hit James Caan's ankles, broke his ankles with a sledgehammer, and you saw it. Chris Baber says, did she have peepholes like Norman Bates to watch him? Ooh, I don't know. That is creepy, though. That is one of the creepiest moments in the original Psycho. Is
the
that
inside of her
peephole.
house does look like the Bates house.
A little bit.
Like
Yeah.
the location of the stairs.
Yep. Yeah, much smaller, but a little bit. Yeah, you're right, Cody. You are right. That's a good observation. That's a really good observation. I didn't know that this was Cliff's mom on Cheers. Huh. Well, you learn something new every day. And then he gets killed, this guy, too. He goes over there and he gets shot and put in the basement, I think. And I love that, too. I love that you're watching this character. You know, they break to this guy every so often throughout the movie. So you, as an audience, you're watching him and you believe that he's on the case. He's going to figure it out. He's going to come and he's going to, he's the only hope there is right now. Like he's the one that you as an audience member are are attached to, are rooting for to get to the house, because there is nobody else right now that is even looking for Paul or at least like this. I think there's something wrong, and he does, and there are other people, but I mean he's the one in the movie that you are attached to. And when he gets to the house and you're like, you actually probably believe that he's going to find him. That he's going to find him and that he's going to, which he does, but I mean, like, save him somehow. And he doesn't.
I always found the sheriff to be like my favorite character.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then I got caught by surprise when his heart went bye-bye.
Oh, yeah. That was a hell of a blast right to the, I know. And you look at his
functions almost like similar to like the caretaker in the Shining sort of thing. Having also get back to the hotel.
Right. That's yeah, I could see that. That's a good point, Reese. I definitely could see that. Definitely could see
this
that.
scene here, Paul looks like he's having a great day.
Yes. The sheriff here is just going to have my Coke. I think he took a Coke out of there or something. I love how he's checking himself out. Checking himself out of the Coke. That's what we do in small towns. Just come on in and check yourself out.
Yeah, I can't do that at my local Walmart. I think I'd be tackled.
Yeah. Well, now we have self-checkouts, right? But yeah, you could walk up to the I should try doing that one time. Just walk up to a cash and start to check myself out. An actual like cash register. Woo! Be tackled, thrown to the ground. Mr. Paul Sheldon. He's depressed now. Oh. I think he sees the... What does he see here? Oh, that's right. That's right. He's like, yes, I'm saved. That's right. I love it. Oh, you're going to be sedated.
I guess all that weightlifting helped her.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, yeah. She can bench like 800 pounds.
She was just in a dressing room bench pressing James Caan.
That's it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I love that, though. Like, you see the cop come, you're like, oh, yes. And then, no. And because she's on it. You don't get to the... Wait, did she roll him down? I forget what she does.
Yeah,
I think
she's about to do that.
I think she rolls him down the stairs or what?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Injury on his ankles.
For a split second, I thought she opened the basement door and just pushed the chair.
Have a nice flight.
That would have been amazing. That
would have been insult to injury.
Oh, it would have been. It would have been so epic. Okay, see ya. Down. And the chair goes. He hits his head and everything. And that would have been great.
He may be okay if he lands on his feet.
That's right.
He
may be all right.
They're already gone anyway.
That's it. You never know. Yeah, and you think here, oh, okay, the sheriff is here. He's put two and two together. He's on it. We're gonna be okay. You don't mind if I have a look around, do you? Just want to look around and twiddle my mustache.
Like this scene here kind of gives me like the lies of Columbo.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, Columbo. One more thing, ma'am. Now, what about this jacket, Cody? Would you want this jacket that the guy's wearing here?
Yeah, I would totally rock that.
Yeah.
I have one kind of similar that was a blue jean jacket, but it had like the fur on the inside like that.
Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah,
kind of like Tommy's in Jason Lives.
Yes, yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it was a lot like that one actually.
Very cool. Sometimes I'll see jackets at stores that I see and I'm like, I really like that. Like I like the look of that jacket or the look of that shirt or something, right? And then I'll try it on. I'm like, I just don't like the way it looks on me. And I'm like, God
Yeah.
damn it. And it makes me mad because I love the jacket and I love the shirt. But then when I put it on, I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, I don't like the way this looks on me, which sucks because I like the jacket. Sometimes that happens. I love how close she is to him here. Like, you know, and nothing says that there's suspicion that like her following you around like this.
Yeah, there's no, it's not suspicious at all.
No, not at all. But doesn't he hear? I think he leaves and then hears something.
Yeah, he leaves and James and Paul hits the little grill down there.
Oh, that's right. I love how she's like, oh, I just like writing. And I just love watching this. It's great acting. It's great performances.
He smells trouble.
Yep. He does. He smells it.
That's a good line. I'm not much of a critic.
Yeah, it is.
I'm glad someone.
It's true. This is almost like and you're right, you get the same sense from Psycho in the sense of that this cop is like the cop in Psycho.
Yeah,
Because-
Arbogast.
That's right, because the cop in Psycho plays the same role. And what I mean by the same role is the sense that you as an audience member we cut back to him, right? Because he thinks there's something up. He's talking to what's-her-face's sister and her boyfriend, and then he goes out to the Bates motel, talks to Norman, thinks there's something a little weird, goes and talks to her sister, and then he goes to the house, and all of a sudden he's murdered. And you're like, oh shit! And the way that happens too, with Norman comes flying out of the bedroom in the wig to the top of the stairs, and you're like, oh shit! It's like fuck. And this cop it's the same. It's the same way. Like it's shot sort of the same way, and it's nice. I'd have to read the book, which I probably won't do because I'm not much of a reader. But I'd have to read the book or find out whether or not a lot of what we're seeing here does play out the same way in the book, which I imagine it does. I imagine this character here, the sheriff, is also in the book.
I feel like this character is more good-natured than Arbogast, though.
Yes, I think you're right. Could just be the acting as well. It's a different time period.
Yeah.
Dia Maria says, oh yes, I was just thinking of that about Psycho. Oh yeah, Psycho's great, Dia. Chris Baber says, Dave, your leather jacket Thursday had the chat room buzzing. Oh, did it? Did it? It's because I usually wear hoodies and t-shirts and stuff because I just like to be comfortable when I'm in my studio here. But the other day I had some things I had to do immediately after, so I was a little more dressed up for going out. Yeah, it's a nice jacket too, actually. I haven't worn that in a bit. So that's why I wore it. Yeah, you're right, Mike. He hears it. Miss Wilkes? Miss Wilkes? Here it comes. Love that tracking shot. Following him back. That would have been done on a steady cam too, because I don't think there was any track there. This is so good. Mr. Sheldon? Oh! Yes! Hey, there's something Canadian behind him there. What is that? Oh, it's Canadian beer, I think. That's funny. That looks like at first glance, it looked like the logo for... Oh, it's gin, you said? No. Canadian something. At first glance, it looked like the Canadian logo for Canadian beer. Because there's a beer called Canadian. No, I don't think it is, actually. I don't know what that is. Anyway, that was great. That was great. And I love that you don't see it coming because she's behind him and his chest just his chest just explodes. And now you as an audience member really do feel that sense of, fuck, now what? Because he was the only guy that was on the trail. He was the only guy that was close to finding Paul. He was the only guy that put two and two together and knew what happened. And now he's gone. Now, obviously, his wife is going to want to know what the hell happened to her, to him, to the cop.
That's why I was just thinking. Like, I hate to think about how his wife feels after all this is done.
And she's got to know that. I would imagine that she knows that he's married. So it's like, well, people are going to come looking for the sheriff. And did the sheriff say anything? Did he tell anybody that he was coming out to my place? Because all it's going to take is, a little bit longer and people are going to come looking for him.
Yeah, I think in a small town, people notice that the sheriff goes missing.
It's true. Darren Sand says, Dave was seriously fonzing up the stream on Thursday. That's right. Happy days. Yeah, I was, I think that's what he did, right? With this thing. He was like, hey, I like that show, actually. Happy Days. That's a good show. It's a good show. Chris Baber says, Darren, Fonz was mentioned many times. That's funny, people. Fonz. The Fonz. Henry Winkler. Yeah, usually with people as neurotic and as smart as Annie is and get away with it for so long, it's usually the simple, absent-minded, just a silly, dumb mistake that they make that puts an end to it all.
All these years she's been doing this, she's gotten away with it, and then after a while she makes one small mistake and it's just a domino effect. That's it, 100%. Yeah, you're bang on. It's just, and usually that's what it's like in real life too, is that, whether you're a murderer or an escaped, whatever, I don't know, it's usually some mistake that you make that you wouldn't ordinarily do because either A, you're not thinking right, or you get too comfortable, or you think, I have nothing to worry about. And what he's doing here, what Paul is doing here is great. Write what you want her, what she wants you to write, because that's how you're going to keep her on your side and get her to do what you want to do. Yeah, you don't want to antagonize her just yet. That's
right. Play into it. Chris Baber says, speaking of Rob Reiner, his best movie was Spinal Tap. Misery didn't go to 11. I haven't seen Spinal Tap in a long time, but I remember liking Spinal Tap, though. I didn't know Reiner directed that.
Yeah,
Really?
Spinal Tap is awesome.
Rob Reiner directed that? Jesus,
yeah.
Where the hell was I? Dave, the box is clearly Canadian sparkling water. Oh, okay. Canadian sparkling water. Is that what it? Oh, I could see that. If that's what it is. The box is clearly Canadian sparkling water. Andrew Stevens says, good evening, everyone. See you on the next stream. All right, Andrew, you too, my man. Take care. Take care and have a great rest of your weekend. Oh, Paul. Thank you so much, Paul. Yeah, he's like, fuck this shit. I love that. Oh, she's got the gun. She's not stupid. Wonder how long he's been there. Do we know in the movie how long he's been there? I feel like it's like 6 weeks or something.
Yeah, well, these legs would have really had to take some time to heal.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point, Reese. So you think that his legs would need, like, to get to the point where his legs were healing, what, like maybe, God, I don't know, a couple of months maybe? They look pretty bad.
He's got to have some long-term damage after getting the second time.
100%. Well, I think at the end of the movie, he walks in with a couple of canes or something. Right. To Lauren Bacall's office. There he goes.
Yeah, because after all this, his ankles are just useless.
That's it. And now he's going to antagonize her. And she walks in like, what are you doing?
Yeah, she starts smacking the pages to put the fire out.
Yeah.
And then he gives her the concussion of a lifetime.
Here it comes. Yes. You.
Wow, they're saying in the book that it's 2 years.
2 years in the book? 2 years in the book?
Yeah, Frank.
Holy shit. I don't get that feeling here. Oh, here comes the typewriter yet.
No.
Oh, man. And she's up.
It's going.
She keeps going. Holy shit. Yes. The fight is on. It's Palpatine and Vader. No. It's Vader and Luke. No. Oh, yeah, right in the eyes. That's right, Paul. She's going to get the gun. Oh, right in the shoulder. I mean, she could have killed him.
This is where they're fighting where they count, because this is fighting for your life.
That's right. That's what you got to do. 2 years in the book. Wow.
Yeah, after 2 years, I think my brain would have already been broken.
Yeah. I don't get that sense in the movie that it's been a couple of years. I could see a couple of months. I could see a couple of months. Oh, that's so great. I love that. And it's so great. Like just eating the, like the symbolism around this scene is fantastic. It's so great. The way he's stuffing the pages, the burnt pages into her is so great. And that shot of her head hitting the typewriter is epic. That's so good.
Yeah, because typically that's where you say it slides out, but these kind of movies, there's always that one final scare.
That's right. That's right. Everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh? Fans after the fact can be like, oh, he's talking Halloween. He's crawling. Oh, there it is. There it is. The final scare. I think he bangs her head off the ground, I think, or something. If I'm not. Oh, that's right. And the symbolism here. I forgot about this. God, it's been, like I said, it's been a couple years since I've watched this. I love this. I love the symbolism. Stuffing the burnt pages down her throat, hitting her with the fucking pig statue. It's so good.
I think this is like the first time I've seen like a death by pig.
Yeah, that's right. Death by pig. That's right. That's so good. Dia Maria's like, damn, I know. I was like, holy shit. Look at her eyes and her face too. That's so great. The way she's just bug-eyed, just lying there on the floor and everything. It's so good.
It's Kathy Bates on her best day.
That's right. That's right. Oh, I think this is New York, is it? Looks like New York. And now this is 18 months later. So this is a year and a half later. Crazy. And he's walking with a cane.
Yeah, after a year and a half, his legs are still just messed up.
I think so. The higher educate. Oh, I missed that. I'm out to lunch with my agent. I've been out to lunches a few times with my agents, and it's never in a place like this. It's never in a fancy place like this.
Because I think I'd be the one buying my agent wouldn't want to buy my lunch.
I actually have treated my agent a couple times to lunch. Frank Rucker said she deserved the Oscar. 100%. Well, she won, right? I think she won. Absolutely she did. Now, I don't know who else was nominated that year. I'd have to go back and check. But I mean, at face value, I mean, she's so good. And I think it came like at that time too, we have to remember that Kathy Bates was known and she was a good actress. But this was like, oh wow, she's great. Yeah, this is so good.
A nice little thing of trauma here.
Yep. Yeah. And what he's saying is very important too. Yeah. I love it. I'm your biggest fan. Really. I love it. I love the way that's framed and everything.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm like, thank you. Now please go away.
That's right. That was so good. It's so good. It's so good, ladies and gentlemen. Folks, that was the 1990 thriller classic, horror classic, Rob Reiner directed, Kathy Bates and James Caan starring, Stephen King, Misery. Amazing stuff in Indeed. What's going on in the chat room? How is everybody doing? I think everybody's doing okay there. Frank Riker says, be funny if Paul was walking with the pig into the restaurant. That would be funny, actually. That would be funny. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Well, this was really cool, guys. I want to thank, of course, those that did join us in the chat room today, of course. Jim Dorsey, Cody Snyder, Mikey Films is here, as well as Reese Wilson. I appreciate you guys joining. This has been kind of a it's a test. It's a bit of a fun kind of thing, and the more we do this, the more things will even out, and we'll find a rhythm. I think what I'll do in the future is, like as I was saying during the show, is I will try to get sort of a heads up who's planning on joining me live on the show. And then that way I know how to sort of organize everybody's faces. Because I agree, ideally, it would be nice to see everybody all at the same time all the time. But I just didn't know how many people were going to be coming in tonight because I didn't set it up that way. And and it was only 4 people, which is okay. But I just wanted to set it up in a way that I didn't have to worry about that. So now that I know, I will do that next time for sure. Dia Maria says, I'll be on Zoom next time, guys. Amazing, Dia Maria. That's going to be awesome. Frank Riker says, this was great with Cody, Reese, Jim, and Mikey. I could not agree more. It was fun. It was fun. I don't know if Jim is still here. Are you still here, Jim? Or did he take off? I think he might have taken off. He's got kids and a girlfriend too. That was that were there. So he probably had to step away and do dad duties is probably what happened. But this was fun, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I will end the show here, and then Cody and Mikey and Reese, you guys can hang around for a couple of seconds, and I'll say my goodbyes after we go off the air here in the show. But this was a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll see new people into the Saturday movie nights in the future. And like I said, we'll work out all the logistics. So that's going to do it for me, guys. I appreciate you guys being here. And any last things you want to say, Mikey or Reese or Cody? Any last things you want to say?
This has been fun.
Yeah, this was awesome.
I didn't say much. I was getting swept up in the movie, unfortunately.
That's okay. It's my job to keep talking. Well, you know me. I could talk everybody off the face of the earth. But you know what? It's here. It's, there's no rules to this. I mean, there's in the sense that, I don't want anybody on saying things we shouldn't be saying. But I mean, in the sense of that, there's no pressure. There's no pressure. You come on, you can come in and leave. You can come back. You can talk. You can not talk. It's there for people who want to do it, hanging out, watching movies on a Saturday night, or in Reese's case, a Sunday morning. But nonetheless, that's what it's all about. And I think it's fun to do that. I think it's Sunday there, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah,
and this is kind of like what I do all the time. Whenever I watch a movie, I just crack jokes.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that, Mikey. Nothing wrong with that at all. So, guys, that's going to do it for me. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you to, of course, all of you who are watching, who are part of my Patreon, for your continued support each and every month to the channel. It does not go unappreciated or unnoticed. I very do much appreciate it. So thank you for that. And Cody and Reese and Mikey, stick around for a moment. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. In the meantime and in between time, cheers.